10 bands that changed my life. Now that saying changed my life. Everybody says that. This game changed my life. This burger changed my life, you know. But what I'm talking about, when I say changed my life, I mean changed a viewpoint in my life. I've got 10 bands with a couple honorable mentions, as well as some examples. Now, this video is going to get clipped up for YouTube, so a lot of the examples, if not all of them, are not going to be in the YouTube video, but I am going to provide links and everything like that. Okay, so get right into it. Let's start off at number 10. Number 10 is actually an amalgamation of groups. It's actually more so an era. The late 90s to early 2000s hard rock metal era. I'm talking Korn. I'm talking Limp Bizkit. That's the new metal era, basically. And then you go to the other side of the spectrum of the same style but different type of music with like Creed. Say what you want about Creed, but what Creed was able to do in a short amount of time, I mean, Creed has bangers. Straight bangers. Everybody knows Can You Take Me Higher? Everybody knows Should Have Been Dead on a Sunday Morning, Shaking My Head. Banging my head, sorry. Specifically, like the way that Scott Stapp like connected to me, and I am not religious. I was not captivated by the religious aspect of Creed. It was really more so the music. Anyway, you understand. The 90s nu metal hard rock era, it really kind of took the entire world by storm. A lot of angry white dudes in that time. That was such a different era, a different time in music, you know. We're going to move on to number 9. Number 9, Cradle of Filth. Now, Cradle of Filth, the aesthetic of Cradle of Filth is what drew my attention, and then listening and kind of seeing their videos and kind of examining what they're really kind of after. They were the first real black metal band that I was ever really exposed to. They were aggressive. They were also like mystical, and they would provide a lot of like wonder and mystery with some magic in there too. Like there was a lot of really, really amazing stuff that Cradle of Filth was putting out there. The first song that I heard by them, Her Ghost in the Fog, is the name of the song. This is from 16 years ago. 16 years ago. Or at least that's when this video was posted. The song itself might be even from way later. Keep in mind that this little man, Danny Filth, has a huge voice. He can also be very piercing with his screams, but he also creates just an entire show. It's a full performance. That song's 24 years old, dude. I was 14. I was 14 when I heard this for the first time. Can you imagine the thoughts hearing that band for the first time? Picture yourself and discovering that. Continuing on with our black metal fandom, another black metal band that at apparently 15, 16 years old, I was just infatuated with black metal. It was probably, and this is a wild statement, probably the best atmospheric blackened death metal, black metal group ever. This band Dimmu Borgir. So I'm going to hit you with one of their earlier tracks, Puritania. They have this element of an orchestra, like orchestraic metal music, and they've done it for such a long time that they've honed it in and become the best of that craft, in my humble opinion. Bands like Septic Flesh do a great job, an amazing job of doing that as well. I just think the Dimmu is different. I forgot how hard that song was. Damn. I forgot how fucking hard that song was. All these songs are so old. What am I doing? How old am I? 38. Okay. Now we're going to go to one that is not quite black metal, not quite death metal, not quite rock, not quite hard rock. I'm just going to say they're metal. They're one of my favorite metal bands. Just do an amazing job, amazing job of hitting your heart in places that you did not know were capable of being tugged on. Killswitch Engage. That's what we're talking about. Killswitch Engage. Killswitch Engage came along in a part of my life where I wasn't necessarily looking for something that was heavier. To be honest, I don't know exactly what I was looking for. I was just looking for something that could make me feel something, like make me feel anything. I was at a time in my life where some could argue that some of those elements are still in my thought process in my mind today, but a lot of the feelings I was feeling back then was just that of acceptance, and just I wanted people to notice me. I wanted people to think that what I had to say or what I had to bring to the table was worth it, because a lot of times you don't feel that way, and a lot of times you come into some type of experience or situation with confidence, and then you can just get deflated very quickly. That's kind of something that happened to me, and I went to a real dark place. If I ever got the chance to meet them in person, I've been lucky enough to see them live, but if I ever get the chance to like meet them and have a conversation with them, one of the things that I would like to say is thank you. How you were able to portray your feelings helped me be able to portray mine. And I was able to learn how to actually process certain feelings and accept certain outcomes instead of be angry and deceitful and upset. Long-winded about Kill Switch. Howard Jones, man. What Howard did to my young adult life is his words soothed me. They also penetrated my brain, my heart. Like Killswitch Engage, I used to actually consider metal, but with tissues. And I say that not in any slight at all. I mean that in the best way, with the utmost respect. What they've done to me, what they've done to my heart in such a good way, and helped me actually sometimes understand people. Sometimes just understand why. It's actually a good thought there. Hell yeah. Killswitch, baby. I'm pretty sure everyone, and I do mean everyone is aware of this group. They changed the landscape of metal and mainstream. They came onto the scene with such reckless abandon and unforgiving, don't give a fuck. Their level of, disrespect for the music industry at the time, and I don't mean that negatively, it needed that. This band needed to form and come out and pretty much kick the music industry in the fucking nuts. And that's exactly what they did when they came out. I'm going to tell you a story before we play it. 9th grade, this guy, high school, music class, music teacher, bring a piece of music in or an instrument that you are interested in at this moment. It could be a band, a rapper, a singer, you play guitar. If you play the drums, you could bring in a pad. At that time, I wasn't playing any music. I was freshman in high school. Let's talk about fucking 13, 14, 15 years old. Pokemon. So I discovered Slipknot. Remember I talked about the BMG 12 CDs, buy one CD, get 12 free. This album right here, they're self-titled, was one of the albums that I chose. I remember sitting down, listening to all of it, one good sitting, getting just completely obliterated by their music. And then I happened to myself upon Wait and Bleed. I must have listened to Wait and Bleed on repeat for shit. We could just call it a week and a half, 2 weeks upon getting that CD. Teacher asked to bring in a piece of music. Also keep in mind, no profanity allowed. Tell me why. This is one of the only Slipknot songs that they've ever created, even till now, that doesn't have a lot of curse words or aggressive language. Enough so that I could bring it and play the entirety of the song for my class and not get in trouble. This is a story that I've shared with some people, but now I'm sharing it here. So I'm sitting up there with the CD player. I get to, I believe it's track 8. Get to Wait and Bleed. I click play, and I'm looking around at my classmates, and I can actually see their smiles and their wonder and their, mystery, like they were anticipating. Song starts playing. I start to see the rest of my classmates start to look around. Some even putting their heads down. Some looking at me like, this is what you listen to? Teacher's giving me the same look that the kids are giving me. At that moment, I can look at that moment now and actually say that I smiled in the face of fear, because I'm standing in front of my classmates with a piece of music that I felt like was me in audio form, right? Like if you listen to this song, you could get me. You could understand what was going on a little bit. I was paying attention to those things. I was paying attention to the entire package that Slipknot put in with Wait and Bleed. And it was in that moment that while I was looking around at my classmates, I kind of was accepting of the fact that I may have lost all of you as potential friends. And I don't care. I have this playing next to me, and that speaks to me more than you ever could. So that was the moment in my head, I feel like, where I accepted not just who I was, but I accepted who I wasn't. Instead of those children, my classmates, kind of coming up to me, asking me either more details about the group, or maybe they wanted to listen to another song after school or something, the silence got louder. Moving on, this band was one of the first bands kind of broke through the barrier of like ancient history, specifically Egypt. Now, for those who don't know, Nile is a river in Egypt, but Nile is also an Egyptian-themed death metal band hailing from Spartanburg, South Carolina. They've been around for almost 30 years at this point. When I was in the younger years of high school, I was blissfully exposed to a lot of great underground death metal music, and this song specifically is called Ramses, Bringer of War, in the album Amongst the Catacombs of Nefrenka. Now, I want to give you some piece of information about Nile. All of Nile's music is tied to actual ancient Egyptian text, literature, culture. The first song that I ever heard by them, there is a horn in this song that really paints the picture of like epic. And then the whole band kicks in, and then it's just brutal, like brutal. I never turned back. I have been a mega fan of Nile ever since. I've seen them 4 times. And actually, the last time that they were here, I was in a band that opened up for them, so I got to meet them. I played in a band called Minds and Brutality. We recorded in the studio, Sound Lab Studios in Columbia, South Carolina, in the studio that they record at. I love this band. This is one of my favorite bands ever. Top 2, top 3. Mount Rushmore metal band for me. Damn, man. Fucking Nile, dude. Now we're going to move on to another group, Nightwish. Nightwish is a wildly popular group. I absolutely distinctly remember this song, 10th Man Down. I remember just loving the idea of operatic, atmospheric metal, you know? Again, adventure RPGs, mysticism, like the fantasy, dark worlds, like that type of stuff was, and still is, a huge part of my thought process in my mind, and I was really taken aback when I first heard Tarja in Nightwish. Fuck yeah. Just fantastic. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. That song, I haven't heard that song in such a long time. That just got me really happy. Everything that we just saw before, these 2 groups completely destroyed what I thought was possible and what it meant to listen to certain parts. In Flames, the Swedish melodic death metal masters. Just a heads up, the number 1 is also a Swedish melodic death metal master. I consider both of these bands, I'm probably going to do them together as 1 and 2 because they both hail from, I believe, the same area in Sweden. They have participated in each other's music videos. They've gone on tour together. They've done a lot of cool things together as 2 separate entities in that genre. When I first moved here to South Carolina, I was just about maybe 15-ish, almost 16 years old. I lucked into a ticket to see In Flames, The Haunted, Shadows Fall, and Arch Enemy at the House of Blues in Myrtle Beach. I go there. The Haunted played first. Phenomenal. I was a huge Haunted fan after that. And then Arch Enemy played. The funny thing about this show, Arch Enemy played, In Flames played third, and Shadows Fall was the headliner. Shadows Fall had just released the War Within album, maybe the album before that, I'm not entirely sure right now. And In Flames played third, and they played probably like a much longer set than what Shadows Fall played as the headliner. I could have been just in a trance, and maybe I was just overtaken by the moment, because In Flames was a huge part of my life. The song that I'm going to play is called My Sweet Shadow. I've never seen this music video. I have only heard the song because the song totally took over me whenever I first heard it, and I really didn't care if there was a music video. I didn't even look, honestly, considering that I'm just now looking and see it here. Do you see? Do you see what I'm talking about? They just fucking do shit. And it just fucking hits. Why am I not listening to that every single fucking day? So we talked about In Flames, and now we're going to talk about a band that I would probably consider. And this is a big statement because it's really hard for me, and like a lot of people, it's hard for me to say this is my favorite band because music is mystical. Music is full of just mystery and wonder, how certain things can catch you at the right moment, and then if you heard them at a different moment in a different period of your life, you may not appreciate it the same way that you would if you heard it when you needed to hear it. If I'm being honest, I don't think I could actually tell you what the first Soilwork song I ever heard was. I have an idea, but I'm more than certain that that might not be it. I'm pretty sure it was Rejection Roll. And this video for Rejection Roll is almost a... They must have done this together. I don't know this for sure, but they must have done this together because the Rejection Roll video and the video for, I can't remember. It's a In Flames video. They're the same type of video. They're almost the same video. So in this video, Soilwork is playing and In Flames is in the truck throwing shit at them, and then they get into a brawl. It's really cool. It's really cool because it happens the opposite way in the In Flames video. Okay, so real quick before the solo, this guy right here, the drummer, Dirk Verburen, he is the current drummer of Megadeth. Just so you know, phenomenal drummer. Probably one of the main reasons why I started playing drums, because of his creativity behind the kit and the things that, the fills that he does and the way that he uses the ride and the bells. And the guy is a mastermind. He's also the shortest member of this band. They are Swedish, and the Swedes are large humans. They played here. I went and saw them. This is a long time ago. And I was able to shake their hands, talk to Bjorn Strid, their singer, and tell him how thankful I was to have stumbled upon their band and how much I love them. I actually bought a round for the band, and we did a shot. I got to meet this gentleman right here, Dirk Verburen. He is considerably smaller than everyone else in the group. Bjorn Strid, for example, is a fucking giant. He is at least 6'6", and their framework of the Swedes is just different. They are massively humongous people. That's a new word I just made up there. In the other video, Soilwork like gives them a thumbs up and waves them off. You damn Swedes are so cool. Trigger. That was so cool, man, that they did their videos together like that. It's the Swedish melodic death metal for me that really changed the game, dude. It really did. They're just so good. I have an honorable mention. I'm still full of the love you want. Fucking Sleep Token, dude. So, that was the top 10 bands that have changed my life. I hope I provided some insight to that so that you can understand what I'm talking about when I'm saying that this group changed my life without just sounding like clickbait. I like to provide some context and some subtext so that you can actually like hopefully feel a little bit of what I'm kind of feeling. I appreciate you being here. Really not a lot in this world that really, like makes me feel great like that. So I appreciate that. I can share with you what I hold so close and dear to my heart, which is music that speaks to me specifically. If you stop by in here at all today, I really appreciate it. Leave a comment below. Go ahead and hit follow, like, any of the things. All of the things. I truly appreciate you and allowing me to be the most vulnerable that I can be. I basically am peeling back the curtain and pulling the zipper down on the inside of my body so that you can see my insides metaphorically. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.